Sorry for this review being a little bit late, Chibits. The reason why is because I was watching Taizai that actually just got translated. So yeah, if you're a Taizai fan, there is subs right now already out. So anyways, moving on to this week's episode of Ookami Shoujo. Okay, so let's be honest here. We all knew this was going to happen. We knew Erika and Kyoya was going to make up. They were going to pretty much kiss and make up. And that's exactly, technically, what happened in this episode. I'm kind of upset just a little bit. The reason why I'm upset is because the good guy in the series, for instance, Kusa, I'm not going to say his full name, just going to call him Kusa, as I said last week, he deserved a lot better. And to see how he was done like he was, I mean, I understand Erika, she laid it down straight. She actually was respectful the way she kind of, said, I can't return your feelings. She was respectful, and I won't put Erika down for that. I won't. But it's sad because he will not have his happiness. That makes me sad, because Kusa deserves his happiness. I want to be honest. I mean, Kyoya, even though he kind of said sorry, he didn't officially say sorry in this episode, and Erika pretty much ran back to his arms. That's pretty much what she did. So, I'm kind of iffy about that. I really am. I'm kind of iffy on the whole circumstance of how Erika, even though she didn't say sorry, like I said last week, I would have been pissed. I would have been very pissed if she would have said sorry to Kyoya. But she didn't, so I'm fine. But it just kind of upsets me a little bit with how she just runs back to his arms. I mean, I understand it's probably hard to break out of true love, okay? And I know how she probably feels. But it kind of bugs me a little bit with how she just runs back into his arms. And poor Kusa just gets shafted. He gets fucking friend-zoned and shafted. I'm like, fuck, man. I mean, he's such a good character. He deserves a lot better. He does. Anyways, I know it's not going to happen, because usually shoujo, manga, and anime, or even series in general that focus around romance, it's always the main male character that always wins in the end. So, I guess I'll have to live with it. So let's dive in deep with this episode of Ookami Shoujo, now that I've said my 2 cents on the entire events with that. The episode. It mainly lacks comedy. There is a lack of comedy in this episode. I noticed that a lot. And it doesn't make this episode bad. Don't get me wrong. This episode is not bad. It's not a bad episode. It's actually a very enjoyable episode. Just, if you watch this series for comedy, most likely you're going to be upset with this episode, because majority of the comedy in this episode was not there. Like, there was no comedy whatsoever. The main focus of this episode was the drama at hand with Kyoya and Kusa. That's pretty much what this episode focused around, and that was fine. It's fine. The episode did its job. It got the point across. It progressed the romance between the characters, and so I'm glad this episode focused more on serious tones instead of just going straight up comedy. I mean, there was some comedy points, but I mean, it wasn't that much. And the episode, like I said, even though it lacked these certain elements that we all know and love from Ookami Shoujo, it did a damn good job for what it had. It did. I mean, the presentation of this episode and the way it was executed, I think, was done properly, with the slow build-up of Erika realizing her feelings for Kyoya. I like the overall build-up that was really nice. It fit well. It fit with the atmosphere, the vibes of the snowy weather. Everything was fine with that. So, like I said, the episode is good. It's a good episode. Just, I mean, if you're a Kusa fan and you want him to be with someone, you're going to be probably a little bit salty. I'm a little bit salty. I'll admit to that. I'm a little bit salty that he didn't end up with Erika. But I'm not salty and jelly like Kyoya was last week. I'm not that, but I am salty. Anyways, this episode, average episode, I mean, it's beautiful. I like the kissing scene. Oh my god, the kissing scene at the end of this episode, damn. I didn't expect that. That's actually a lot of progression for Kyoya as a character, to actually kiss Erika and admit that he loves her. Yeah, that's a lot of progression with his character. It definitely is, and I can't deny that. I mean, he finally admitted he loved her. Even though he's still technically a prick, he admitted that he loved her. So I'm glad we got that notion of romance in this week's episode of Ookami Shoujo. A great episode. About an 8 or 7.5 out of 10. It's around in there what I feel about this episode. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about this week's episode of Ookami Shoujo. You all have a wonderful day, wonderful night, wherever you live. Please be safe, and Chibi out. Now get on to that Taizai.